very warm welcome. You're watching the News Hour Special Edition with me, Priya Bahal. Now, as they say, a bad workman blames his tools. What does a bad politician do? He gets his list of grievances published in 15 newspapers across 13 languages. That is exactly what leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has been accused of doing. His article, titled Match Fixing Maharashtra, has reignited the often repeated blame game over poll rigging. While Congress MP speaks of stealing an election and cites Maharashtra Assembly polls in 2024 as a blueprint, he has been repeatedly rebutted. After sources in Election Commission reminded the leader of opposition of their detailed reply to exactly the same doubts in a note in April this year and December last year, Rahul Gandhi dismissed them for being unsigned, evasive notes to intermediaries. What he hasn't explained so far, though, is why exactly has he not written to the poll body directly instead of mailing out his charge sheet to various publications. In a tit-for-tat move, perhaps thinking that Rahul Gandhi only reads what's published in the newspapers, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis also took to print and took a subtle yet sharp rebuke at Rahul Gandhi, saying that the leader has made the same mistake throughout his entire life of blaming others for his own mistakes.
ताउम्र राहुल जी, आप यही गलती करते रहे, धूल चेहरे पर थी और आईना पूछते रहे।
राहुल गांधी जी ने इलेक्शन कमीशन को सवाल पूछे और उसके जवाब इधर देवेंद्र फडणवीस देते हैं, तो इलेक्शन कमीशन ने उनको एज ए एडवोकेट अपॉइंट किया है कि यही एक सवाल सबसे पहले उपस्थित होता है। तथ्यों के साथ चर्चा हो सकती है, मगर बौखलाहट जो देवेंद्र फडणवीस के भीतर जो दिख रही है, इसका मतलब सीधा सीधा है कि चोर की दाढ़ी में तिनका।
Now, over the course of next 30 minutes, we will be performing an autopsy on Rahul Gandhi's claims. But I am sure that our viewers who are definitely more discerning than Rahul Gandhi would have been reading newspapers over the course of last several months and would already know the threadbare details of the allegations being rebutted. But let's be real, they need to be thoroughly examined yet again, because Rahul Gandhi has forced us to do so. We need to figure out what exactly is dead, the credibility of institutions or the facts or just common sense. But here's the real question. Why has casting doubts and spreading misinformation become Congress Party's go-to strategy? Is it because making baseless claims and repeating them ad nauseum is the only tactic left in the armor of a party that has seen a constant decline in its political fortunes and is somehow struggling to come up with a winning formula in a situation where odds are clearly stacked up against them? To answer that question and many more, we are joined by BJP's national spokesperson, Shehzad Poonawalla, Manish Barrier, political analyst. I apologize and please correct me if I get the pronunciation wrong for your surname. Ashwani Kumar Mishra, Congress leader, is with us. Professor Manojit Mondal, political analyst, is with us, and Akhilesh Katiyar, Samajwadi Party's national spokesperson, also joins us. Ashwani Kumar Mishra ji, first of all, let me ask you the question that everybody has been asking since yesterday. Why publish in newspapers and not write to the Election Commission directly?
Priya, first of all, I have an objection to what you said in the start of the debate. Leader of opposition is bad politician because he is asking question to the government. He is representing 57% of the Indian population who voted. BJP and NDA alliance together got 43% votes, actually less than 43% vote percentage. And
Sir,
leader of opposition is representing remaining vote percentage who did not vote for
Sir,
the leader of wait, you asked me a question, let me come to that.
So you haven't come to the question. You are discrediting what I have said. You are questioning what I have said. So let me explain to you. You have perfectly put into perspective what I said. You say you and INDIA alliance got 57% votes. The elections were conducted under the very same election commission who he is now discrediting, and which is why I call him a bad politician. Please go on.
Yeah. So why we are raising the question, and if you look at the inception of EVM, the first question was raised by Mr. Advani in 2009. He raised the question against the EVM. It is not the Congress Party or the India Alliance who
Sir,
raised the
nobody,
question on the
sir,
EVM.
sir, wait.
EVM.
Sir, nobody is saying that opposition cannot ask questions of the Election Commission. What I am asking, and what the BJP is also asking, is that the questions that have already been answered are being raised again and again. EC has explained it in December. EC has explained
No, we have
the
not
particular
got
Maharashtra allegations in April 22 again this year. But Rahul Gandhi doesn't want to listen to those answers.
Point by point. Let me explain point by point, right? So, allegation is that whether EVM is transparent or not. The answer opposition is telling is no. EVM is not transparent. EVM has never been transparent, and if asking the accountability, asking the authenticity of Election Commission is always been in question. All those bodies, autonomous bodies of the country.
It's nice that you say always, because we will come to the pre-NDA era.
You can always come to pre-NDA era. In fact, when Advani Ji asked that question, that was pre-NDA era only, UP era only, 2009, when he asked the question. And we never ever supported that blindly, the using of electronic voting mechanism, be it EVM, be it anything, because the internet can be hacked, the EVM or any electronic device can be hacked. And when we are living in the biggest democracy where 145 crore people can potentially participate in election, we are still relying on a technology which can be hacked. Is always been the question. Now, a lot of times counter
technology
question
that, as per your
election.
own declaration, gave 57% votes to the opposition.
I'm telling 43% are votes got by NDA. Rest is all sitting in opposition only, right? Where the other vote percent is
And
gone.
that's rigging for
only
you.
43%.
So an election
telling,
that is rigged gives more vote to the opposition than to the ruling party.
So I'm telling
Which is why I say bad politician.
Who has not voted for NDA government is potentially sitting in opposition, right? Because they have not voted neither for BJP or nor for their alliances. So they are pretty much sitting in opposition, either in Nota or in India
But Rahul
alliance.
Gandhi doesn't trust any of those people voting. He is saying that entire process is rigged, people conducting them is rigged. And in fact, even as I ask those questions, I am bored of asking these questions because I already know the answers to those questions, but Rahul Gandhi will refuse to acknowledge.
Rahul Gandhi doesn't trust the voting mechanism, the voting
Exactly the
autonomous
point.
body, because it can be manipulated.
Sir, can you tell me why does he not trust the mechanism when he says Election Commission is giving evasive unsigned letters in releasing information? What will happen? What has happened to the notes, the very detailed notes that have been issued by the poll body? Has Rahul Gandhi read any of them?
Because there is no transparent mechanism. We do have on the top of EVM, we do have a mechanism to trace number of voters. Even Supreme Court has told that there could be a counting of 5% vote in any of those 5% machineries, like 5% machines. Even that has not been taken. And
sir, it's been 7 minutes since we have started this discussion, and it's already such a strong deja vu. We've had the same discussion at least hundreds of times over the course of last year. I do not
get concrete answer. We will dilute this topic, but we have not got the answers, concrete answer. Let my friend Shehzad tell me objectively
have
what
you not got the answers, or have you not got the answers that you want to listen to is the big question here. Shehzad.
You can wake up a man who's sleeping. You can't wake up somebody who's pretending to sleep. Now let me make my arguments one after the other. EVM is not transparent. The last judgment on EVM, Supreme Court, November 2024, EVM is fine when you win or else it is tainted. Full and final verdict. Advani Ji questioned the EVMs when there was no VVPAT. Once the VVPAT came in, the BJP never questioned the EVMs. By the way, this current discussion is not about EVMs, just for your knowledge. Rahul has not mentioned EVMs anywhere in his article. He has moved on from EVM to electoral roll and fudging of electoral data. But having said that, now let me unpack one thing. I have today seen that there is good EVM and bad EVM. Priya, you know, there is good EVM in Karnataka, good EVM in Telangana, good EVM in Himachal, good EVM in Jharkhand, which had the elections during the same time during Maharashtra, and bad EVMs were there in Maharashtra and Haryana. Anyways, now let me move on to the arguments made by Rahul. Rahul in his tweet has given 5 steps of how election process is rigged. I'll give you 5 steps of decoding Rahul. Step 1, lose election. Step 2, instead of introspecting, cook up theory. Step 3, ignore all data. Step 4, defame institution without proof. Step 5, repeat. First argument made by Rahul Gandhi is, by the way, that 1 crore voters were added. Then he said, no, 70 lakh voters were added. Then he said, no, 40 lakh voters were added. Listen. Just be patient. Then he goes on to say 70 lakhs, then he goes on to say 40 lakhs. By the way, now let me unpack this. In 2024, Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha, the difference between Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha voters is 4.26%. Priya, you know what was the difference between 2004 Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha electoral voters difference? 4.69%. So is the Congress saying that that time also they inflated the electoral rolls? Also, the entire process of updation is done through the BLOs, BLAs, and 27,000 Congress workers are on the ground. If there was anything that was amiss, they could have filed the complaints there and there challenging the electoral roll, which they have not done. 89 appeals were filed, only 1 appeal went to the second stage. Having said that, now let's come to the second issue raised by Rahul Gandhi. Second issue raised by Rahul Gandhi is the voter turnout. He says that the voter turnout at 5 p.m. was 58%, and then suddenly it became 66%. Rahul does not know that in Jharkhand, elections ended at 5 p.m. In Maharashtra, the voting was on till 6 p.m. And in Maharashtra, every hour, 58 lakh votes were casted. So it was completely natural for the voting percentage. Sir, don't interrupt. Sir, Ashwani Ji, please don't interrupt. I'm finishing very soon. Very soon I'm finishing. So it is completely natural for the voting to be 66%. By the way, in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the voting provisional figure at 5 p.m. was 60% and the final figure was 66.71%. That time Rahul didn't say anything because he won. Anyway, there also Form 17C is filled by the persons there, but they unnecessarily are raising the issue now. Now, last issue is that the election commission has been compromised. That election commission bodies used to have lot of members who were appointed by other people. Now suddenly the Chief Justice's role has gone away. From 1950 to 2023, the government appointed election commissioner. And Priya, listen to this. From 1950 to 1989, it was not even a multi-member party. It was one election commissioner appointed by the central government. It became multi-member after 1989. And it became appointed through a law of parliament by 2023. Before this, all of them have been appointed exclusively by the central government. And if you like Chief Justice appointment process so much in the state, why don't you have the state election commissioner appointed by the Chief Justice, leader of opposition and state government? There only the state government will appoint. Gajab ka hypocrisy hai bhai. Now please answer specifically.
Sir.
Priya, let me my friend Shehzad teach me some mathematics. The total population of Maharashtra is 13 crore. Let's assume the average age of a person there is 70, right? 60 to 70. The maximum people can transition from one age group of 17 to 18 is around 17 lakhs. That's maximum in a year. Within 3 months, how come some 65, 70 lakhs people become a new voter? Isn't
they
that
didn't
a question?
become new voters.
Because
who told you this? 41 lakh voters were added. Out of that, 26 lakhs were the new voters.
Also,
don't lie.
aren't Congress operatives involved in every process of making voter rolls, sir?
And one more thing, Priya. Shehzad always question this. When you win election, we don't raise the question. We always raise the question on the election EVM. Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi both together has said that whether we win the election or lose the election, we will always raise question on EVM because that is not transparent. We cannot trust. It's like I have a capability to score 100 marks. You have capability to score 80 marks. You lose in that subject. You tell.
So
okay,
Jammu Kashmir election and Jharkhand and Telangana is rigged.
Less than even one subject. This is
Jharkhand is rigged.
Logic.
Jharkhand is rigged.
Ashwani, my apprehension here is, like I started by saying that, right in the beginning of the debate, it looks like there's such a feeling of deja vu that we've gone through these arguments again and again and again, and which is why let me move on to my next question. Whether it is about elections being rigged, the government can go blue in the face till cows come home, talking about how EVMs there's nothing wrong with them. EC can give a clarification after clarification. Courts can give verdicts after verdicts, but Congress will stick to a particular narrative. We also are speaking at a time when we have Operation Sindoor delegates coming back. They can claim, people from your own party can go on to say a certain version of what has happened, but Congress leaders in India will always say they do not believe it. Your Salman Khurshid, your Shashi Tharoor, your Manish Tiwari will say, Pakistan called our DGMO and asked for cessation of hostilities. Congress leaders in India will say that India has surrendered. Not even ceasefire, you've taken it a notch further. Is it that Congress now has become so bankrupt of issues to speak about that this throw a sensational allegation, do not back it up with any data and facts, and then hope for the charges to stick is becoming your default go-to strategy?
Give me 30 seconds, Priya ji. In democracy, you have freedom to form your opinion about any political party. Nobody object you because that is as given by the constitution to you. And same constitution has given us the power to ask the question which are important for the national security and national integrity.
That
and the
questions what
sir, asking
not to ask the questions that are irrelevant.
For the national integrity. Which is, do you think the India-Pakistan issue, which was always bilateral, is Trump has insulted countries 11 times and my prime minister is silent on this, is not a question of national security and national integrity. If you don't think it is, probably I should not debating with you because that question is very important. Let's not digress the topic. Coming back to what we are questioning on the election commission and on the EVM. We have our stand always been clear that we should be always voting with the ballot paper. We have always questioning the EVM and the integrity of election commission and all the autonomous body which has become the tool for BJP. And recently we have seen ED which raised issues with 25 politicians and 23 joined BJP. I can give them name. I can give them name of Ajit Pawar, Subhendu Adhikari, Hemant Biswa Sarma, and I can get 23 people. So let's not get into that. My question is, all those autonomous body which used to be the protector of the people, who used to be the
Sir, I have moved on to the second round of questioning. Let me repeat my question. Is this hurl a sensational allegation, do not care about facts, why let truth come in the way of a good political narrative now Congress's default strategy?
No,
whether it is the forces or the constitutional bodies or the country.
Let election commission answers those questions objectively. We ask those questions to election commission, not BJP. Why BJP is in? It's a representation of election commission. Why BJP is answering those questions? Rahul Gandhi asked those questions to election commission, which is an autonomous body. Let them come and answer those questions. Why BJP is bothering about answering them?
Man.
Shehzad.
First of all, the election commission did answer your questions in December 2024. They removed a very detailed article, but apart from that, you are questioning the wisdom of the people of Maharashtra. As a Maharashtrian, I feel offended that you say that the people of Maharashtra have hijacked the verdict. How dare you say that about the people of Maharashtra? And if you attack the people of Maharashtra, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, the constitutional position holder, and people like me will object to it. Secondly, please tell me that the Sena announced the surgical strike. Did you believe? You said that surgical strike bhi nahi hua. Balakot was announced by the Air Chief. Did you believe? Now Operation Sindoor has been announced by the DGM. What have you said? Chutput hai. तो आपको ना सेना पर भरोसा, ना सांसद पर भरोसा, ना संसदीय मर्यादा पर भरोसा, ना हमारी संस्थाओं पर भरोसा. भरोसा किस पर? केवल परिवार तंत्र पर. Only the family is correct. बाकी सब गया भाड़ में. Now tell me one thing. If you are so aggrieved by the election commission not doing justice to you, अभी तो चुनाव को 6 महीना हो गया ना. How many of your 288 candidates filed the case in the High Court, Supreme Court? वैसे तो छोटी-छोटी बात में जर्नलिस्ट को कोर्ट ले जाते हो. Give me 15 instances where you filed the cases in the court कि ये देखो इलेक्शन कमीशन गड़बड़ किया हमारे चुनाव में. 50.
शहजाद जी, जलेबी बनाने से कुछ नहीं होगा.
जी बोलने से कुछ
जलेबी मत बनाओ. जलेबी बनाने से कुछ नहीं होगा.
कोर्ट जाने से होगा. कोर्ट जाने से होगा. और सवाल ये है कि कोर्ट क्यों नहीं गए हैं. जैसे सवाल ये है कि ये जो अखबारों में छापा गया है, ये इलेक्शन कमीशन को सीधा सीधा लिख देते. उनको क्या करना था? जो नोट उन्होंने दिसंबर में इशू किया है, जो नोट उन्होंने अप्रैल में इशू किया है, वो फिर से वो दोबारा भेज देते. पढ़ना तो राहुल गांधी ने पहले भी नहीं है, पढ़ना राहुल गांधी ने अभी भी नहीं है. बट लेट मी टेक दैट क्वेश्चन टू अदर मेंबर्स ऑफ दिस पैनल एंड allies of the Congress party. Now, as a supporter of the TMC, Arkanag, Mamata Banerjee and her party have been claiming that they were the first ones to highlight poll rigging after the elections in West Bengal. They were the ones who spotted this happening. Has TMC now changed its stance, read any of the notes that have been put out? TMC won the election in West Bengal. Has anything changed, or is still election commission compromised, polls rigged, Raga, the one that your party will believe in?
Well, I have two angles to this. First of all, there are voters who have been listed in Bengal, which was identified by Mamata Banerjee, and then the entire party is still in the process of the exercise, making repeated complaints before the Election Commission, and the Election Commission has also made notifications to that effect, recognizing the problem which was raised by the All India Trinamool Congress. And so far as during the elections are concerned, we have often seen that the Election Commission, at the beck and call of the people in the opposition, have always taken steps without even perhaps sometimes applying their mind while removing officers from one place to another, which actually ultimately led to no result. Because the people in Bengal votes in a different way, and they vote in favor of development. But the constant hurdle which the party has faced during elections was something.
So people in West Bengal vote for development, but people in Maharashtra don't want development.
That there are votes. Well, in Maharashtra, if Rahul Gandhi has come up with certain allegations, I believe he will take it up illegally as well, and the Election Commission should reply.
But he hasn't.
Minister of Maharashtra,
it's been how many months since Maharashtra elections have taken place? He hasn't. And that is what Shehzad was also pointing out.
The Chief Minister,
there was one complaint from a Congress leader, and in fact the constituency that was cited by Rahul Gandhi as BJP getting more votes wasn't even contested by BJP, it was contested by their ally Shiva Sena.
I could not follow your question.
No, I'm saying, sir, that Rahul Gandhi's allegations have been proven to be absolutely devoid of facts. And yet you are giving him benefit of doubt, but you are not trusting the people of Maharashtra and their intelligence when they go to cast their vote.
I am just giving the... I am not at all challenging or questioning the intelligence of any voters in India. I have absolute faith in the voters of Banaras who decided to bring down the margin of the Prime Minister. I have full faith in the voters of Ayodhya who kicked out a BJP.
Actually, voters are also very intelligent.
Their parliamenary constituency. Not a problem.
So tell me this.
There are certain
if BJP were capable... If BJP were capable of rigging, do you think that they would not start with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's constituency and not give you this opportunity to make this point today?
Perhaps
not let Avdesh Prasad of the Samajwadi Party win from Ayodhya?
Perhaps I believe that when there are certain allegations which has been propped up by the leader of the opposition, I am sure he will take it up with the Election Commission, and I am sure that the BJP will not act as the spokesperson of the Election Commission and let the Election Commission defend. If the Election Commission finds that the allegations made by the leader of opposition is bogus, they will take steps in accordance with law.
But they have already found him to be bogus, sir. How many times can they repeat the same thing?
The allegations are leveled against the Election Commission.
Akhilesh Katiyar, since we are speaking of rigging, let me repeat my question. Would Election Commission, would the BJP not start by not allowing Avdesh Prasad to win a constituency as crucial as Ayodhya? Is it despite poll rigging that today Akhilesh can claim that Avdesh Prasad is his trophy leader, legislator?
प्रिया जी, जो बहुत देर से हम लोग 20-25 मिनट से जिस विषय पे बात कर रहे हैं उसके 3-4 एंगल हैं। चुनाव आयोग की भूमिका, उत्तर प्रदेश में जब बाई इलेक्शन हुए, जिस तरीके से प्रशासन का दुरुपयोग करके इलेक्शन हुआ, उस पे एक दिन के अंदर हमने 20 बार इलेक्शन कमीशन के ऑफिस में गए, लेकिन कोई सुनवाई नहीं, वो भी इस देश की जनता ने देखा है। दूसरी बात, जो बूथ पे बोर्ड काट देना, बोर्ड बदल देना, दूसरे बूथ पे ले जाना, इस तरीके की जो मशीनरी का दुरुपयोग है। तीसरी बात, जब गिनती होती है, आज वोटिंग मशीन से काउंटिंग और रात में 12 बजे डिक्लेयर करते हैं आप स्टेट को, इस तरीके का जो मैनेजमेंट करके जो आम जनता के जो उसका अधिकार लूट के, छीन के, जो इलेक्शन कमीशन रोल करता है उस नियत के खिलाफ सवाल उठे हम लोगों की तरफ से, और हम हमेशा ये मानते रहे।
रिगिंग है ये सिर्फ बाईपोल के टाइम पर ही हुई थी जब बीजेपी को ज्यादा सीटें मिली थी, या ये लोकसभा इलेक्शंस के टाइम पे भी हुई थी जब समाजवादी पार्टी ने अच्छा परफॉर्म किया था?
प्रिया जी, आपको अगर जानकारी
सर हाँ या ना में जवाब दीजिए
यूपी में हुए, नहीं हमने यूपी में इलेक्शन, जब बाई इलेक्शन हुए, एक दिन के अंदर 50 बार डेलीगेशन भेजा हमने, कोई काम नहीं किया। गिनती हो जाती है 12 बजे 2 बजे, आप रात में 10 बजे।
सर जब लोकसभा चुनाव हुए थे और समाजवादी पार्टी का प्रदर्शन अच्छा रहा था तब भी फिक्सिंग हुई थी,
इसलिए 10 घंटे रोकते हैं भाई।
सर आप मेरे सवाल का जवाब नहीं दे रहे हैं।
तब भी हम मानते हैं कि इस देश में आम जनता के, प्रिया जी, इस जनता के अंदर जो सवाल है, इतने बड़े लोकतंत्र में अगर एक सवाल बैठ जाए तो उसे दूर करने की जिम्मेदारी इस संस्था की है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की, हमें उस पर काम करना चाहिए।
सवाल तो सर जनता के नहीं है, सवाल तो सिर्फ नेताओं के हैं। बट मनीष, लेट मी ब्रिंग यू इन ऑन दिस। इज दिस एग्जैक्टली द ऑपोजिशंस गो टू टैक्टिक राइट नाउ? जस्ट throw questions in the air, wild questions, wild allegations, and hope for them to stick, maybe because the government has had so many achievements to flaunt. There are a record number of people who are above poverty line. India has now become a number 4 economy in the world. Operation Sindoor has been a success. So every single criteria on which the government or any party could hope to get people's support and votes, those issues have been taken away from the opposition. So now they're just hoping for the best by raising questions like these.
Good evening to you and all my co-panelists. See, I don't think it is a opposition per se. I would say this is a Congress problem, right? If you look at political spectrum, I don't think these kind of issues are being raised by Akhilesh ji or for that matter, even Mamata Banerjee for that matter. During elections, yes, these kind of things can happen. But if you look at DMK, rest of all the opposition, I think largely they are focusing on issues, and based on their own issues, they are going to the public. But I think this is a particularly Rahul Gandhi problem. I have not seen that even with Congress party whenever they were in opposition. And if you go back even with Indira Gandhi, we never found that when she was in opposition, for some time, she actually, talking about election commission, although at that time election commission was very much under government. So this is very strange the way Rahul Gandhi behaves. And you have also told that we have discussed this topic ad nauseum. In fact, the 5th point he raised about bogus voting, for that also he wants the entire list of voters. He wants CCTV footage, and that even the government of Punjab has said that is not possible. It goes against the entire ethics of our voting and the secrecy principles. So he keeps coming. So his entire agenda is shoot and scoot. That is what I almost like a guerrilla tactic. He will say something, and then he said Rafale, so many things about Rafale. Nothing happened out of that. Supreme Court judgment is here. So I don't think that he has any developmental agenda. He has any vision for the country. Anyone who has proper vision for the country will focus at least 80% time on positive things. But I have not seen anything from Rahul Gandhi in last so many years focusing on positive things. You can always spin it up in a manner which kind of puts some kind of a vision for the young youth of the country. You keep complaining. And complaining will not do. You look at it in Bihar, at least Prashant Kishore, he complains. He talks about it, but he's bringing a new vision. And that's how we have seen most of the leaders, even regional leaders, they inspire. I find in Rahul Gandhi that is completely missing.
Yes, Shehzad, yes.
Manish is very innocent analyst. Just wait for one more year. When they lose Bengal and Tamil Nadu, 2 more dibbas will be added in the bottom, and they will also be complaining about the EVMs. Next point. Are Ashwani ji, bolne dijiye na. I have not spoken. Why do you want to interrupt when I'm speaking? But what pleasure you derive from speaking in my turn? You don't speak in your... Priya, you're giving everyone time. Let me speak my piece.
Sir, you'll get your time, sir. Let him finish his point.
He gets more pleasure in
please
speaking in my time than in making sense in his time. Now, second question, and this is trick question, Ashwani ji. Please hear carefully. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, on the back of the Supreme Court observations in 2018 Panchayati poll in Bengal, where 33% seats remained uncontested, said Mamta Didi fixes the entire election through violence. How come Rahul Gandhi, the champion of electoral practices being fair, has never opened his mouth on this? ये तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने स्थापित किया है कि ये किया है ममता दीदी ने, और पूरी दुनिया बोलती है, लेफ्ट भी बोलती है. अब अश्विनी जी ये बताइए कि द चैंपियन ऑफ फ्री इलेक्शन मिस्टर राहुल गांधी, हु नेवर हेल्ड एन इलेक्शन इन हिज ओन पार्टी, आई एम भुक्त भोगी ऑफ दैट, व्हाई ही नेवर ओपन्स हिज माउथ अबाउट 2018 पंचायती पोल or 2023 panchayati poll?
For that matter, when you speak of panchayat polls, there are a lot of elections that have also been conducted by ballot paper, and Congress has not managed to win those either. But again, bringing it back to the main point that I started with, is it born out of desperation that Congress has resorted to now almost being a foul-mouthed party? Listen in to what the latest statement is being made by Ajay Kumar.
You tell me whom have they met? वह बुरा लगता है ना कि इतने तैयारी, इतने खर्चे के बाद इतने कपड़े सिलाए सब लोग, उसके बावजूद भी अगर कोई मिलता नहीं तो इट्स नॉट अ गुड थिंग. आई फील बैड. आई मीन आई सी सो मेनी ऑफ देम ड्रेस सो वेल बट नोबडी टू मीट. इट्स नॉट गुड. अच्छी बात नहीं है कि कोई मिलने के लिए भी तैयार नहीं. इतने मेहनत से हमने व्हाट इज इट दैट फेमस शॉप कॉल्ड जनक, व्हाट इज इट, करोल बाग में बहुत मशहूर सूट का काम टेलर है, just by Janak or something.
Ashwani Ji, you have senior leaders from your party, highly respected leaders, multiple time MPs, you have external affairs minister of the past, you have respected leaders with Manish Tiwari, Salman Khurshid, Shashi Tharoor in these delegations. You'll call them dressing up people and meeting nobody.
You answer this, Priya Ji. We sent a delegation across countries. You tell me how many head of the countries met those delegation. How many countries stand with India? How many countries stand with India during the war? You think Afghanistan is the only country who stand with us that point of time? Right after that Operation Sindoor, IMF gave a loan to Pakistan. Russia gave MOU to Pakistan. So tell me where we are as in Vishwaguru. Where is our diplomacy is heading?
And Pakistan,
where
what
is
is he
our
speaking?
diplomacy heading? If we ask those different questions, you can label us anti-government, you can label us anti-national, anything you can label
Nobody
us.
is labeling anybody anti-national. Anti-government is not equivalent to anti-national, but Congress seems to be considering it like that.
BJP called Rahul Gandhi Gaddar. We never called Vajpayee Ji Gaddar when he protested in
What were you calling
1962.
Jaishankar?
In fact, during the war. So we will keep asking the question of national interest, whether you like it or not, because we are representing.
Sir, accusing your own external affairs minister of being a Pak informant is
Not
in whose
accusing,
interest?
Not accusing. We are reiterating what he said. He said that we informed Pakistan at the start of the war. That's the English I understand. Let's not get into those details again and again. When my
Yes, of
CBS
course you don't want to get into those details again and again. Just like Rahul Gandhi doesn't want to go into the details of the notes that have been published on 24th of December, if I'm not wrong, and the 22nd of April this year.
You tell me, Priya Ji, who's superior? The legislation, the parliament, or BJP spokesperson, or probably army? Whom do you think? Who's the superior in the
Sir,
country?
I don't have to think that facts are superior. There is that
most
facts will always trump narratives.
Parliament. The most superior body in the country is parliament. And parliament, if something is not put up in parliament and is being told outside the country, I think that should have come to first been told in parliament.
Sir,
Isn't that a legitimate question?
Sir, parliamentary panel headed by S. Shankar has briefed leaders, and a very, very senior leader from your party was present in that meeting. Are you aware who was present from your party in that meeting, sir?
Let's not digress, but let me still ask you.
Sir, are you aware who from the Congress party was present in the briefing that was conducted by External Affairs Minister?
Rajnath Singh's all parliamentary meeting or not?
Ashwani Ji, are you aware which Congress leader was present in that briefing from the Congress party, the briefing that was conducted by External Affairs Minister?
I am asking all parliamentary meeting where all parliamentarian was present, which was headed by Rajnath Singh Ji, which probably should be headed by Modi Ji. All those information.
You're not answering my question. Let me tell my viewers, KC Venugopal was present over there, and if briefing KC Venugopal, Salman Khurshid, Manish Tiwari and Shashi Tharoor is not enough for the Congress leaders to believe what is happening, which by the way those three leaders already believe, I do not know what is the purpose of any briefing going to be, or for that matter of the special session. But Ms. Arkanag, Does TMC also want to call for a special session and ask questions? Are there any different questions than what the Congress would want answered?
No, the point is all the political parties together has requested the Prime Minister for a session, and I'm sure that there will be no such session. So this is a blank discussion. There is
So you're saying that Abhishek Banerjee of the TMC will not be able to answer the queries of his party leaders? He believes in something, but TMC does not.
No, I am saying that the Prime Minister is not democratic enough to speak to the Parliament. And please tell me, on the last media conference which was held by the Prime Minister, not the media interviews, but a press conference.
Yes.
Perhaps you will not find one. So there is always a possibility that he will run away from the Parliament. That is fine.
Very easy. We know the answer that there is a monsoon session. The government has already said that they're not going to call for any special session. It will be a monsoon session starting later next month.
Because there's limited time and a lot of questions have been repeated. Let me answer them one by one. Supriya Sure is also against a special session. Is she also trying to hide something? NCP Sharad Pawar said absolutely no special.
She's super spokesperson.
She's super spokesperson, just like Mr. Tharoor is. And by the way, I did not know Abhishek Banerjee, Rajiv Rai, Kanimoji went to dress up there. I mean, they probably brought their outfits from Manyavar or something. Is that what Mr. Ajay Kumar is alluding to? It's an insult to these MPs who've gone there to put India first. Because they don't put Parivar first, there are all kinds of things, including super pravaktas. Having said that, by the way, Ashwini, 3 days ago, you know what Supriya Sure did a PC on? G7 में इनवाइट नहीं आया, विदेश नीति फेल, लेजर आइज हैव फेल्ड. क्या हुआ G7 के इनवाइट का? By the way, 2010 we didn't get a G7 invite. You know who was the Prime Minister of India then? And you know when was the first time we got a G7 invite? 2003. Anyway, तो आप मुंह बंद रखो ना. G7 का तो invite आया. Canada का Prime Minister, sir, I did not interrupt. Again, you're doing the same thing. Again, you're getting the pleasure from talking in between. Again, you are getting pleasure from talking in between with me. So listen to what I have to say, then you speak. Not just the Canadian Prime Minister, but even the opposition leader said that India should be in the G7. So please get your facts right. You have probably not seen that the delegation met J.D. Vance. In a delegation, wherever the delegation goes, the protocol is you meet the same level or one level higher. Even then, they have met J.D. Vance. They have met foreign ministers. They have met deputy foreign ministers. They have met speakers. This is much beyond the protocol of the MPs. But no, you have to insult the MPs. You're not insulting me. You're not insulting my party. You're insulting Abhishek Banerjee. And Mr. Nag can clap for it. You're insulting Rajiv Rai. And Mr. Akhilesh Kataria will clap for it. Yes, they're going to dress up. क्यों Rajiv Rai dress up करने गए थे ना? अखिलेश जी बताइए. इनको बताइए जरा. ये घूम रहे थे आतंकियों की तरह.
Akhilesh, so now from insulting your forces, from insulting the BJP, from insulting the Prime Minister, such is the situation that political parties like the Congress are not even refraining from insulting their own leaders. They're willing to go out there. We've already heard Udit Raj and others taking pot shots at Tharoor and Khurshid.
यहाँ पे बात हुई इलेक्शन कमीशन की, जो हमारी जो इलेक्शन प्रोसेस है उसमें बहुत सारी बातें निकल के आई. और जो भारत की विदेश नीति रही इस पूरे ऑपरेशन सिंदूर और पहलगांव के मामले पे, उस पे सवाल बनता है. हमारी विदेश नीति बहुत अच्छी नहीं थी, विदेश मंत्री का काम बहुत अच्छा नहीं रहा, उस पे सवाल देश करता रहेगा. और जो चुनाव
सर, विदेश मंत्री का काम अच्छा नहीं था पे सवाल करना और विदेश मंत्री को पाकिस्तानी मुखबिर बोल देना तो बहुत अलग अलग बातें हैं. देश से ये सवाल पूछना कि ट्रंप ने क्यों अनाउंस किया सीज फायर और ये बोलना कि भारत ने सरेंडर कर दिया, तो बहुत अलग अलग बातें हैं. अगर सीनियर लीडर्स लाइक राहुल गांधी do not understand the difference of this, do not understand the nuance like this, they don't deserve to be senior leaders. I'm extremely sorry to say that.
लेकिन अटैक करने से पहले पाकिस्तान को बताना क्या हमारी देश के लिए ये अच्छा मामला था?
सर, वही बात है ना कि why let facts come in the way of a good narrative, है ना?
अखिलेश जी से एक वाक्य पूछ सकता हूँ?
जी,
एक वाक्य. अजीब जी एक वाक्य. अखिलेश जी एक वाक्य. अखिलेश जी आप ही से एक वाक्य. राजीव राय जी ने दो बातें कही विदेश में थे तब. उन्होंने एक तो कहा कि किसी तीसरे देश का हस्तक्षेप नहीं हुआ और उन्होंने कहा कि पाकिस्तान के डीजीएमओ ने हमें कॉल किया. आपकी जो बात से लग रहा है कि राजीव राय झूठे हैं ना, क्योंकि आपने बोला कि यहां से पहले इंफॉर्मेशन पाकिस्तान को गई फिर उनका कॉल आया, तो फिर राजीव राय को झूठा मान लिया जाए ना.
नहीं शहजाद जी, आप झूठे और सच्चे पे ना जाएं। आप क्या ये
सर
बात
क्यों नहीं जाएंगे हम झूठ और सच पे? सर क्या ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज ने क्या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लिया है क्या सिर्फ झूठ बोलने का और हम सच पे जाएंगे? इसीलिए तो हम बैठे हैं, इसीलिए आप लोग हैं यहाँ पर।
एक इंसिडेंट है सीज फायर का,
और
यू आर कंबाइनिंग
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को आप सफल बता रहे हैं शहजाद जी।
सर एक वन बाय वन अखिलेश जी फर्स्ट एंड देन विल कम टू अश्विनी जी। यस अखिलेश जी, मेक योर पॉइंट।
आतंकवादी ना पकड़े गए, ना जेल में है, ना कहीं है, ये बात क्या आज देश जानना नहीं चाहता है?
सर फिर से बोलिए, आपका सिग्नल चला गया, फिर से एक बार फिर से दोहराइए अपनी बात अखिलेश जी।
मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं प्रिया जी कि जब इस देश जी जो आतंकवादी पकड़े नहीं गए वो आराम से चले गए, उस परिस्थिति पे पूरे देश के दिमाग में सवाल है और हम कहते हैं कि हमने पहले
सर दिक्कत वही है ना सर कि सवाल वाजिब सवाल है, बिल्कुल पूछना चाहिए, लेकिन इस सवाल के बजाय क्या पूछा जा रहा है? एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर इज पाकिस्तानी इन्फॉर्मेंट, नए कपड़े खरीद लिए हैं डेलीगेट्स ने, इंडिया ने सरेंडर कर दिया है। Those are the questions that are being asked. Questions that are being asked are elections are being rigged, even though several facts, truths, data, dossier after dossier say that that is not true. That is the question. And Manish, let me get final word in from you on this. Lies now the only content of opposition's manifesto?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even Salman Khurshid said, is it so difficult to be patriotic in this country? So that was a huge statement coming from a senior Congress leader. And that sums up the kind of allegations which the opposition is making. So it is very unfortunate. If you look at other countries like Ukraine or Russia, do you see any kind of an opposition voices? Everybody is one during war. So it's a very, very, shameful that during the time of a war, opposition leaders in this country is putting up, barring few exceptions, of course, those who traveled, they were putting in such an uncomfortable position to the Indian army and Indian security system itself. Let alone the government at hand. And also I would like to answer about this Trump thing. See, India is in a very, I'm sure people who understand diplomacy and they understand that India is in a very, very delicate situation right now vis-a-vis trade talks with US. At that time, Prime Minister talking anything is going to jeopardize. It is for the good of the nation, good of the country that Prime Minister is taking a very strategic silence. And in this country, for the good of the country, sometimes, the Prime Minister of this country has to really, adopt certain postures. So I don't know, is it a mischief by the Congress government and Congress spokesperson to ask, question like that, or by the opposition? Or is it that they are too dumb and they don't understand? I don't know.
The question is, and the answer is, that the people of this country are extremely intelligent. They can differentiate between facts and narratives, and which is why perhaps Rahul Gandhi has had not a very good innings, and distraught by that, these are just desperate measures of desperate times. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on this debate.